arrived recently from Bolivia. In regards to Bolivia, it's a little bit strange, I suppose, that a country like Bolivia that we are completely non-industrial, and since Europe came into contact with my country, Bolivia has shared natural resources with the world, yeah, and even Karl Marx mentions the role of the Cerro Rico de Potosí to create the wealth or the capital in the UK. However, Bolivia has no industry whatsoever. What we do is just produce raw materials for Europe, and some multinationals have been extracting these raw materials for centuries. And so from this country and from the poorest people of the world came out an alternative to the market solutions presented at the United Nations. One of them, for instance, is the Climate Justice Tribunal that nobody talked about. Like, for instance, can money compensate when a river is polluted, a river that goes through countries and communities and is responsible for not just directly but indirectly killing humans and animals? We have nothing like that of that sort at the moment. The other thing was also recognizing international rights, international human rights, like for instance the right to have water, something that was privatized in Europe. You know, how could you privatize water? Water is a right to survive for human beings. Now, it's incredible that those ideas come from the most backward country. And why are these ideas coming from this country? Because we had a profound change in 2000, and it went all the way up to 2006, when we had a president that was elected by the people with a completely different perspective. This president, it has nothing to do with market policies or neoliberalism. Is completely the opposite. Of course, his stand is rejected by United States. In 2009, there was a conference called Conferencia de los Pueblos, which was to deal with the climate change. Unfortunately, this conference was mainly, the main participation was Latin American. There was European presence, but because of translation and all that, there was little, I would say, interaction. It was difficult because Bolivia is one of the poorest countries that was hosting such a complex issue. And also, I would say that one of the ways Europe or United States is attacking Bolivia is by creating thousands of NGOs that have suddenly turned their eye and become really vigilant on Evo Morales' government. So, for instance, if now there's a road that needs to be built, and suddenly all these NGOs have said, "Oh, how dare you going to build a road and destroy Pachamama," and turn all the ideas forward against this government, and also at international level. And it's very sad that, for instance, in The Guardian, there was one article printed by a socialist, Mike Gonzalez, who put a title said, "Defender of indigenous president defend of Mother Earth claims rings hollow. You know, it's like the first storm, the first attack came from the left here in Europe, instead of trying to understand what was the issues at stake. And in reality, the issues that multinationals have with Evo Morales is that Bolivia has the largest lithium reserve in the world. And already the government has said that we are not going to allow to do the same thing as the previous natural resources, which is to just take away the natural resources in its natural state and then leave pennies, destroy the whole area, and then return the goods with 5 or 10 times the price, and so on. So that's the real issue, the lithium in Bolivia. By weakening the state and weakening the position of Bolivia on the United Nations as well, what they have managed to do is that in Durban, the last conference, the Bolivian stance was not as radical, as strong as in previous conferences. And I think the tactic of sending all these NGOs and all this funding in defense of indigenous people is working, and is actually very sad. As a Bolivian, for me, it's very sad. Thank you.